Hi, everybody. Dr. Julia here. I am back with an answer to one of your questions. In my monthly newsletter, I ask all of my subscribers to send in questions and or comments about things that they're going through in their workplaces. But this question is actually something I get outside of my newsletter and honestly everywhere. So when I tell people that I work with organizations on culture and I am an executive coach, one of the first things they ask me is, well, how do you deal with conflict? I'm having an issue with conflict in my workplace, and it is widespread. And so they always say, "Oh, you should come to my company." And I say, "Yeah, call me up." So it is always a fun conversation over dinner when someone's asking, "How do I deal with this boss or this coworker who is being negative or is causing conflict?" So every workplace is different. I'll start with that, and every issue is different. Some issues are extremely toxic, and there probably needs to be changes of personnel. But in general, I'll talk about a few things that I would consult an organization on. And that first one is just finding the root cause of all of this conflict and negativity. And usually it's someone or a group of people not understanding the team's goals or the organization's mission or vision, or not living out those core values. It could be that people feel undervalued or that they're not being seen. These are all things that truly are the roots of negativity. The other day, I was on a podcast that will be airing soon, and the host said, we had this conversation, and she said, yeah, but a lot of times people don't know how to communicate those words, that I feel undervalued. They're very mad at that time, and they're not able to just articulate, that they don't understand the team's goals. It usually comes out in other ways. And I said, absolutely, that is so true. And that's why it's important for leaders to help the organization and help their employees get on the same page as far as language. And that might mean sitting everybody down, and that might mean bringing in a consultant. That might mean everybody participating in a workshop to understand the language, and doing that in a calm way. Kind of putting whatever the issue is aside in order to focus on this learning, so that we can all move forward in the future. For leaders, I would say just leading by example. Leaders set the tone. You guys, if you're leading an organization, just setting the tone that this is how we're going to handle conflict. We're going to sit down and have a forum, or we're going to have a town hall. We're going to communicate one-on-one. However it is, you as the leader have to follow through with that. Also, if you're not a leader, if you're a person who is, I would say everyone has some type of leadership position, even if you're not leading people. But if you are not leading people, listen, you've got so much runway, and it can happen within the structure of your organization. But you providing constructive feedback to your peers or to your boss, you saying, hey, can we participate in this training? Hey, I think that our communication skills as a team could improve. Can we bring them a workshop that we all could come to together? The other one is building trust and autonomy. When people feel like someone's watching them, and that they can't be completely free to create or be autonomous in their work, that a lot of times that breeds negativity and conflict. Again, that's one of those root causes that as a leader you want to try to find out. And then lastly, I would just say kind of just measuring the progress. A lot of times we bring in people, we do the training, we do the workshops, we do all these things that I've just mentioned, but there's no way to track it because we thought that was it. But it's continual. We have to continue to work. We have to continue to ask the questions. We have to continue to build communities with team building activities. But those clear, measurable goals for culture change happen by having regular check-ins and feedback mechanisms where leaders actually ask people, how are we doing? How is this going? So hey, I just encourage all of you to go at conflict. That is a really hard thing to say and do, but to go toward it, because when we run away from conflict, it will catch up. It will keep running and running and running until it catches up with us, and then it's a lot harder to deal with. So if we turn and actually run toward it and say, hey, let's figure this out, let's work this out, let's get to the root cause of this, and that root cause is hopefully not a person, but some feeling or some organizational mission or goal that needs to be a little bit clearer. Thank you all for joining me today. Remember to send in your questions and subscribe to this channel. Thanks. Bye.